Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and today I'm here to bring you guys a new Naruto manga. 651 prediction. Okay, I didn't do last week's video, but if I were to say anything about the previous week's chapter, 649, honestly, it wouldn't have gotten a good review. Like, the chapter to me in the previous week just kind of felt, I don't know, like there wasn't any content. Like, I mean, there wasn't really much for me to feel because mainly it was, of course, the rehashing of what Naruto, like people talking about Naruto's feelings, and then on top of that, we got the whole, Shikamaru, of course, wanting to be Naruto's assistant advisor. Now that was cool. I like that from a fan's point of view, and I thought it was a little nice fact maybe to know, but that Shikamaru wants to kind of be like that, for Naruto, kind of like how, Shikamaru, or I should say, like Tobirama was to the first Hokage. But I don't know, man. I feel like, Shikamaru passing out and all of that wasn't really necessary. Like, I'm almost, if you pay attention to some of the previous chapters that have happened, probably the last 10 or so chapters, I feel like you can skip over something and still understand perfectly what's going on. And if anybody knows what that equates to, that's filler. That is filler. Now, granted, I love Naruto just as much as the next guy. It's one of my favorite series, but I mean, I have to call that out. I mean, that's like filler. Now, and not to take any jabs at other series, but that kind of reminds me of how sometimes One Piece is. Now, I like One Piece, but that's how it kind of reminds me. So I don't really think that's good from a writing standpoint for Kishimoto to be dragging out some of this stuff. Granted, you may get a little nice fact here or there, but if you can condense it and make the story progress in a nice pace, then I feel like we should do this. So it knocks, like, I feel like Shikamaru going through that whole ordeal of passing out and all that wasn't even necessary. If you wanted to have him say that, I felt like you could have had him say that many chapters ago. You could have had him say that when Neji died or something like that, when we had that special moment and everybody was motivated by Naruto's chakra after he cloaked them. That could have been a quick line right there. It didn't have to have a whole entire chapter of dedication to it. So I know Kishimoto likes to condense like certain things in volumes, and usually if you ever notice the pattern, every 10 chapters you always usually have like this amazing chapter, at least to me, where it's like this epic cliffhanger before that, and then all of a sudden you have this amazing chapter, and that's kind of following the pattern right now because I bet you next week's chapter is going to be amazing, for 651. But 649, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of unnecessary stuff in there. Everybody gets, and I'm not even just talking about the haters out there. I'm talking about like the real deal fans. I'm pretty sure all of us get the fact that Naruto had a hard life. The Shinobi Alliance is now motivated by him. We don't need everybody to recite it in a different way. We don't need Obito to recite the same stuff about how Naruto is in a different way. And basically, last week's chapter, if I were to give it a quick rating, would have been Genin level. Possibly, I was thinking about Academy level, but I didn't want to go that far. But Genin level, basically the lowest rating that I have on my scale, besides the Academy level. So I mean, I guess it was a step up from being like the worst chapter I've ever read. But I mean, it was, I don't know, it was all right. It was not a good chapter. It was a kind of a bad chapter. So that's just my opinion. Even though there were some things to enjoy, maybe, but I feel like content wise, we didn't get nothing. So anyway, this week's chapter of Naruto, that's what you guys are probably here for. Basically, okay, the chapter, of course, it starts off with us seeing the Kages and all the different shinobi. They're rushing into battle. Everybody's morale is all boosted up from the previous chapter. Of course, they're all excited after seeing Naruto and Sasuke do their thing and the Kages showing up. So everybody's attacking the tree. There was a nice scene that I liked, and I really thought it was a little nice touch. I mean, some people may disagree with this, but where the third Hokage, he turns around, he looks at Orochimaru, and he's just like, Orochimaru, you're just gonna stand there, and do nothing. And then he was like, well, there, this war doesn't concern me. He's like, but I can't have Obito win because if he wins, then I won't be able to do any of my experiments. So basically, that was somewhat of an excuse for him to work with the third as well, too, because you see him using snakes, and then while he's doing that, and he's just like, he's like, so you know what? Let's just reminisce for a minute for the time where you were my or you were my teacher, and I was your student. And I mean, even though it's kind of weird since he's actually technically the one responsible for the third's death, it's still, I don't know, felt a little bit touching to me, the fact that, well, Orochimaru, maybe there's just a sliver of you that still cares about your sensei. I mean, I know that's weird to say, but I mean, some of you guys out there, just tell me what you think about that. But after that part right there, we had, I believe it was, we saw some more of Naruto and Sasuke, of course, doing their thing, trying to attack Obito, doing their combo. Oh no, actually it was Sakura and Tsunade doing their thing with the slugs. I believe they were, using their jutsu, trying to summon Katsuyu. We found out Katsuyu is like probably as big as that god tree because Tsunade and Sakura together, when using their little mark on their forehead, can only summon like 1/10 of Katsuyu's total body, which is in the Shikotsu forest. So apparently, Katsuyu is way bigger than we've ever seen. So she's probably like on that island turtle type stuff. That's my assumption. But maybe one day we'll actually see the Shikotsu forest, even though the series is coming to an end. Never know. Maybe next arc, right before Naruto and Sasuke fights, hey, maybe it'll take place in the Shikotsu Forest, and maybe we'll get a little glimpse of it. Or maybe Sasuke will learn something from the Shikotsu Forest. I don't know, but that's besides the point. Pretty much right after that point right there, we, of course, they summon Katsuyu, and then, like, Katsuyu turned into this liquid form, started healing all the shinobi. We also got a little scene with the fourth and the second doing their thing, basically trying to protect all the fodder shinobi, using, like, time, space, ninjutsu. And then from that point on, then we saw Naruto and Sasuke, of course, fighting, doing combos against Obito. They were tracking his movements, trying to keep up with him because Obito's moving super quick. And right when it seems like they got Obito for a second, Obito pretty much just grabs them, slams him to the ground, and takes Naruto out of his Biju mode, and same thing with Sasuke and his Susanoo. So right when it seems like it's about to be an end, I know Kakashi had a little bit of dialogue during this scene as well. Kakashi basically was talking about how he knows just a sliver of Obito. Obito still has his will of fire basically going on. Which I guess you could kind of see, but it's just going towards the wrong thing. Like, he's not, like, Obito never gives up, kind of like how Naruto is. He's never going to give up. He's going to keep fighting. But, part of him, wants to believe, of course, or most of him wants to believe that this world is all bad, but there's still a part of him, obviously, that's trying to seek answers in Naruto, which we already know from previous chapters. And the reason why I can say that is because I remember Kakashi said something along the lines of that before Obito actually was, had the 10 tails in his body. I think it was right before him and Obito actually fought in the Kamui dimension. So I feel like this is the rehashing of things again, but he said that, and, at the time that it was spoken in this week's chapter, I felt it as a fan. I mean, I felt like the execution was well, but I felt like if Kishimoto wanted to go ahead and do this, or have Kakashi say this right now, he shouldn't have had him say it earlier. But anyway, from that point on, after they were on the ground laid out and stuff, we had Naruto and Sasuke laying on the ground. So Obito started questioning Naruto, basically asking him the same stuff, but I actually liked the way he asked him a little bit differently this time. He asked him basically question by question. He was like, why? What are you fighting for? Is it for your friends? Is it for this world? He was like, and Naruto, of course, gives him his response, his classic response. And I also like the part that Obito went ahead and said, what was it? I know that he said, do you think you'll always stay this way? Like, do you think that you never change? Your friends betrayed you, everybody betrayed you, so why are you doing this now? And then Naruto gave his classic response, because, it's my ninja way, I'll never give up, and then of course, he stood up, and then Sasuke, stood up, smiled, and did his Susanoo, and then he was like, okay, Naruto, let's end this. And then Naruto talked about how he's not going to go to sleep till like the next day. And then you saw Susanoo and Biju mode combined. Now, I know I kind of rambled on a little bit in this video, but pretty much, yeah, I mean, I like this chapter in terms of enjoyment-wise, because I liked seeing the end of it, where you saw Sasuke unlock perfect Susanoo. And the reason why I say it's perfect Susanoo is because you can kind of see the face resembles Madara's perfect Susanoo face. Not like Sasuke's just regular, unstabilized Susanoo face or whatnot, whatever you want to call it, avatar or whatever. So you saw them, of course, beginning to fuse, and, obviously this means they're probably going to do some kind of armored up QB next week's chapter. But what I kind of liked about the chapter, I mean, I liked hearing Naruto's resolve, and I felt like the execution was done really well. But the thing that takes away from this chapter the most, even though I think this chapter could have been a very enjoyable chapter, it's just the rehashing of information that we've already gotten. Which means I can't highly rate it because even though I felt like this was the best execution out of Obito saying how he feels, his response, like the entire time I was reading this chapter, I could hear the music. I don't know if you guys know that song. I'm trying to remember the name of it. There's a song like in the Naruto Shippuden soundtrack. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that they played it when Obito and Kakashi had their last moment before Obito got crushed by the boulder, and I think they also played it too when in the anime when Hinata got right before she got stabbed by Pain, and she was standing up, and Pain asked her, why do you continue fighting, why do you keep doing this, and she said, because it's my ninja and my ninja, or my ninja way. So I kind of heard that music playing during that scene, and I thought it was a really nice scene. But again, we've gotten several chapters of Obito asking Naruto the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and it's not necessary. It is like filler, so I have to take it away. With the exception of the end of the chapter, where of course we had Naruto and going like and Sasuke doing the whole combination thing. That was pretty cool. And seeing, maybe some of the other Shinobi Alliance people with the Kages doing combinations and seeing their morale, I will let that slide. But content wise, same thing. We don't know any more than we really knew the previous week, to be honest. Even though I enjoyed it from a fan's point of view, I really love this chapter from a fan's point of view. But from a reviewing standpoint, I have to give this chapter, in terms of pacing, I thought it was pretty good. In terms of execution, I thought it was done well, but because of previous chapters we knew the same information, it gets, I guess I have to give it a Chunin level rating, honestly, at best, you know what I mean? Because not much more we gained from it. I mean, we didn't gain that much more information, or any information, really, but execution was well, pacing was well, but it was the rehashing information which takes away from some of it. So, yeah, Chunin level rating. Now, on to the prediction this week, since I've been jumping around a lot in this video. Honestly, I mean, obviously it's pretty obvious that we're gonna probably see some kind of QB Perfect Susanoo fusion next week. I'm definitely thinking Sasuke's Perfect Susanoo, or I'm assuming he has Perfect Susanoo now. I wonder if it's coming from due to the fact that Naruto cloaked him with chakra, thus is making Sasuke actually stronger than usual, because we already know that was something that obviously helps a lot of the shinobi out there, which is why they're able to do some of these feats. Or is it that Sasuke was holding back this entire time, and now he was kind of pissed off because Naruto was keeping up with him? That could also be a possibility as well. So it's kind of making me think, okay, did he always have Perfect Susanoo since he had EMS, or is it just a cloak? Because I think he obviously had the potential to have Perfect Susanoo, but I didn't know he already had it. So I don't know. We'll see from this point on, but it should get pretty epic next week's chapter. I expect a lot of action back and forth between Obito, Naruto, and Sasuke. I want Obito to kind of get, more, I guess you could say, aggressive with his attacks. Like, wouldn't it be kind of sweet or raise the sense of danger if, let's say, he tried to blow up the fire country or something like that? Like, while Naruto and Sasuke are fighting, like, he just sends a tail beast bomb over there and it's gone or something, or it's blown up. I feel like it would really, you know, obviously be a little bit more heart wrenching, because right now it just seems like a tug of war. So I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping things wrap up somewhat soon. It seems like they are. I'm hoping at least that was the last speech, because I felt the execution was done well on it. Even though we heard it 1,000 times before, it actually tugged at me a little bit this time more than the others. So it needs to be the last one. Otherwise, if I even see that again in a chapter, chapters are going to be, or review, or I should say ratings on chapters are going to be plummeting in my book, because I can't give a high rating or even a decent rating for the same information, or for filler, just straight up filler. So other than that, not much else to say about this week's chapter. Artwork was on point. Kages were doing their thing. Waiting for Madara to make his move, because don't forget, Uchiha Madara still has to make his move. I think he's going to play a big role, and, obviously right before Obito gets taken down, because people saying he's going to have the Talk No Jutsu. He probably will, but I think he's going to die, and maybe it'll be the result of Madara doing something to him, and Madara maybe taking the reins of the battlefield. But regardless, I still think these things need to come to an end with the war right now because we've been on it for so long. So anyway, these are my thoughts on this week's chapter of Naruto. I definitely can't wait for the next week's one since we have these epic transformations, and hopefully Madara does something in the next couple chapters. I don't think he'll do anything next chapter. If he does, it'll be a cliffhanger, I'm assuming, since the highlight of this cliffhanger was the QB, I guess, Susanoo fusion type deal. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And also check down the link below. There is a link to this video I have that's about YumaCon 2013. If you want to hang out with me, the Elite Ace, Ryu Itachi, Death Note Guy Zero, I think Luffy the Super Saiyan's coming as well, then go ahead and check out that link. If you don't even want to hang out with us, but you're looking to go to a convention and you live somewhere in, I guess, Michigan, and you want to go to something amazing, then check out that link. It's down in the description. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. See you later.